Once in a quaint village, there lived an old sage known for his serene and joyful demeanor. Despite having few possessions, he radiated happiness. Villagers often sought his advice on living a content life. One day, a curious young man approached the sage and asked, "Master, what is the secret to your happiness?" The sage smiled and said, "It's simple. The art of happy living lies in finding joy in the present moment, cultivating gratitude, and nurturing relationships." Intrigued, the young man asked for guidance. The sage shared 3 lessons. First, he taught the importance of gratitude by encouraging the young man to find one thing to be thankful for each day. Second, he stressed the value of mindfulness, urging the young man to savor every experience without worrying about the past or future. Finally, he emphasized building connections with others, suggesting acts of kindness and genuine conversations. The young man followed the sage's advice diligently. He began to notice the beauty in everyday moments, cherish his relationships, and practice gratitude. Over time, he too began to radiate happiness and contentment, much like the sage. The village noticed the change in the young man and sought his guidance. He humbly shared the lessons he had learned from the sage. As more villagers embraced these principles, the village transformed into a haven of happiness, where the art of living joyfully became a way of life for all. And so, the art of happy living spread from the sage to the young man and eventually to the entire village, teaching everyone that happiness isn't found in possessions or circumstances, but in the simple yet profound choices we make every day. In a tranquil village nestled within the mountains, lived a wise Zen master named Hiroshi. Many seekers from distant lands would travel to learn from him. One day, a young and eager student named Kaito arrived, hoping to attain enlightenment. Kaito's mind was cluttered with worries, doubts, and fears. He approached Hiroshi asking, "Master, how can I achieve a calm and clear mind like yours?" Hiroshi smiled gently and replied, "Empty your mind, my dear student. Only when your cup is empty can it be filled with wisdom." Perplexed, Kaito said, "But Master, I don't understand how to empty my mind." Hiroshi led Kaito to a serene pond. He picked up a small stone and dropped it into the water, creating ripples that disrupted its reflection. "Look at the pond, Kaito. Just as the stone's ripples disturb the water's surface, your thoughts disturb the clarity of your mind." Kaito nodded, beginning to grasp the concept. Hiroshi continued, "Imagine your mind is like this pond. Allow the ripples of your thoughts to settle. Breathe deeply and focus on each breath, letting go of your worries and distractions." Kaito closed his eyes and followed Hiroshi's guidance, taking deep breaths and consciously releasing his thoughts. As he did, he felt a growing sense of peace. Days turned into weeks, and Kaito practiced diligently. Gradually, his mind became quieter, and his heart grew lighter. One day, as he sat by the pond, he noticed a beautiful lotus flower blossoming on the water's surface. Hiroshi approached and said, "Do you see, Kaito? Just as the lotus flower emerges from the muddy water, your inner wisdom and clarity can blossom when you empty your mind." With a grateful smile, Kaito bowed to his master. "Thank you, Master Hiroshi. I finally understand that by emptying my mind, I can find true peace and enlightenment." Hiroshi patted Kaito's shoulder. "Remember, Kaito, the journey to an empty mind is ongoing. Embrace each moment, let go of attachments, and allow the beauty of your true self to shine." And so, Kaito continued his practice, understanding that the path to enlightenment was not just about understanding, but about living each moment with a mind as clear and still as the surface of a calm pond. Once upon a time, in a small village, there lived an old wise man. He was known for his calm demeanor and his ability to remain composed in any situation. One day, a young man from the village decided to test the old man's patience. He began spreading false rumors about him, trying to provoke a reaction. The old man heard the rumors, but chose not to react. He continued his daily routine and treated the young man with kindness whenever they crossed paths. The young man's attempts to provoke him grew more outrageous, but the old man remained unfazed. As time went on, the young man's behavior started to seem irrational and childish to the villagers. They began to see the stark contrast between his actions and the old man's composed nature. Slowly, the rumors lost their impact as people realized the old man's character was far more admirable. Eventually, the young man grew tired of his futile attempts to provoke the old man and approached him, admitting defeat. He asked the old man how he managed to stay calm and composed despite all the provocations. The old man smiled and said, "Reacting to negativity only gives it power. By choosing not to react, I took away its strength, and in doing so, I retained my own." The young man learned a valuable lesson that day about the power of choosing one's reactions. He left the old man with a newfound sense of understanding and a desire to cultivate the same inner strength. And so, the story of the wise old man and the young man spread throughout the village, teaching everyone the importance of not reacting impulsively to negativity and the immense power it holds.
Once upon a time, in a serene village nestled between rolling hills, lived a wise Zen master named Master Koji. One day, a young boy named Hiro approached him, seeking answers to life's problems. Master Koji, known for his simple yet profound teachings, agreed to help. Hiro confessed his troubles, the burden of his studies, conflicts with friends, and his fear of the future. Master Koji listened intently, then led Hiro to a calm pond nearby. Kneeling at the water's edge, the master began pouring tea into a cup, but he didn't stop when it was full. The tea overflowed and spilled onto the ground. Confused, Hiro asked, "Why waste the tea, master?" Master Koji smiled gently. "Hiro, just like this cup, your mind is overflowing with worries. You cannot take in new wisdom if your mind is already full. Empty your mind, and you'll find space for understanding." Hiro pondered these words as the master continued pouring tea. Eventually, Hiro realized that the cup needed to be empty before it could be filled again. He understood that he needed to let go of his worries and fears to make room for new perspectives and solutions. As days turned into weeks, Hiro practiced the art of emptying his mind. He spent time in nature, meditated, and slowly began to release his attachments to problems. With Master Koji's guidance, Hiro's studies improved. He mended his friendships, and his fear of the future lessened. Years later, Hiro had grown into a wise young man. He thanked Master Koji for his guidance, expressing his gratitude for the profound lesson he had learned by the pond. Hiro now understood that by emptying his mind, he had discovered the ability to find peace amid life's challenges. And so, the boy who once carried the weight of the world found solace in the wisdom of a Zen master, all because of a cup that overflowed with tea by a peaceful pond.
Once in a small village, there lived a young boy named Samir. He was known for his impatient nature and always sought instant gratification. One day, while playing in the fields, he noticed a caterpillar struggling to break free from its cocoon. Impatient to see the transformation, Samir decided to help the caterpillar by tearing open the cocoon. To his surprise, the caterpillar emerged with deformed wings and couldn't fly. Saddened by his impulsive action, Samir sought advice from the wise village elder, Grandpa Joe. Grandpa Joe told him a story of a similar situation he faced in his youth. He had come across a sprouting seedling that refused to grow. Frustrated, he decided to pull the sprout to make it grow faster. However, the plant withered and died due to the disturbance. The morale of the stories was clear. Patience is a virtue that allows nature to take its course. Samir learned that rushing things might lead to unintended consequences. From that day on, he embraced patience and became a more understanding and wiser individual, respecting the natural pace of life's changes.